Welcome back, Year 6, to Lesson 14 of our Destination Reader Sessions, all about Cloud Busting by Mallory Blackman. Just a quick reminder, key words in today's lesson, which may be vocabulary words or those sentence starters from your strategy prompt sheet, will be found in red. Questions for you to answer will be found in blue. And anytime I want you to pause the video and write down your answers, that will be in green. Before we begin, please make sure you have a copy of the story, a strategy prompt sheet, a pencil, and a piece of paper, or your home learning book. If you don't have this yet, pause the video now and go get it. Awesome, let's get started. Year 6, I hope that you are enjoying this text as much as I am. I'm so excited to see what happens between Davey and Sam. Will they become friends again? Thinking back to the beginning, I know Davey leaves. I wonder if he leaves because of this incident. Guess we'll have to keep reading and find out. So, let's go. We're continuing to make inferences today, Year 6. My question to you is, how do good readers make inferences while reading? Pause the video now and record your answer in your home learning book. Well done. Yes. Good readers use background knowledge and clues from the text to read between the lines and make inferences. As always, we have a few vocabulary words to review before we begin. Our first vocabulary word today is the word abroad. Abroad. Well done. Abroad is a noun. It is a place, though it's not a specific place. The word abroad means any other country. So if I say, I'm going abroad, I'm saying I'm going to another country. Usually, abroad means to cross an ocean. Our second vocabulary word today is refused. Refused. Well done. To refuse to do something means to say no and be unwilling to do it. Take a few seconds and think about a time that you refused to do something. Well done. Our third vocabulary word today is lend. Lend. Well done. The word lend is a verb. It means to allow someone to use something that is yours with the understanding that they will give it back. Year 6, can you think of a time that you lent someone something? Well done. I can think of a time. My friend really wanted to borrow a great book I was reading, and I lent it to her. She read it, and when she was finished, she gave it back. That is to lend. And our final word today is an adverb. Year 6, what is an adverb? Yes, an adverb is a word that describes a noun. A word that describes a verb, not a noun. It's a word that describes a verb, Year 6. Well done. Our word today is desperately. Desperately. Great job. When you do something desperately, you do something in a serious, hopeless, or urgent way. Well done. All right, today's answers will be either 2 or 3 mark answers. So let's very quickly review how to answer these types of questions. My turn, your turn, Year 6. 2-mark questions need a PE answer. Awesome job. And again, my turn, your turn. 3-mark questions need a PEE answer. Awesome work, Year 6. Well done. Today we're on to Chapter 18 of our story. Chapter 18 is called How Could You? Look at the image and the title of the chapter. What do you think this chapter might be about? This is a 2-mark question. Remember to give your point and then give evidence to support your point. Pause the video here to write your answer. Well done. Here's my answer. I think this chapter will be about Davey and his mom being very cross with Sam. I know this because I see a woman who looks cross, and I see Sam in the background. The title also makes me think that they are asking the question, how could you, to Sam and the other boys. I also think this woman who's cross is Davey's mom because she looks a little bit like him. Look really closely here. Can you see the resemblance? I can. Let's read Chapter 18. Remember to follow along with me while I read. Chapter 18. How could you? Davey's mom refused to let her son come back to a school where anyone could do that to her boy. Davey's mom said she'd have to be dead before her son came back to a school where anyone could do that to her boy. Davey's mom was more than ready, willing, and able to move house if she had to move cities if she had to move abroad if she had to, before her son came back to a school where anyone could do that to her boy. Let's stop there. Why do you think Davey's mom will not let him come back to school? Use evidence to support your answer. Year 6. This is another 2-mark question. You need to give me why you think Davey's mom won't let him come back. So a reason and an explanation or evidence from the text. Pause the video now to write your answer. Well done. Here's my answer. I think Davey's mom will not let him come back to school because she thinks she can keep Davey safe at home. I know this because the chapter repeats the phrase, where anyone could do that to her boy. This shows me that she thinks Davey is safer at home than he is at school. I'd love to know some of your answers, Year 6. Mine is not the only correct answer. You may have a different answer, which may also be correct. Remember, you can send your answers to our Destination Reader questions to your teacher for us to see. Let's keep reading. Wow, we're on Chapter 19. That means we're quite close to the end. Let's take a look at this image. What do you see? Who do you see? What do you think this chapter might be about? I'm sure you thought of some great ideas, Year 6. Let's read Chapter 19. Chapter 19. Davey's gone. I went to visit Davey in hospital. I took him some grapes and a couple of Spider-Man comics, and my favorite science fiction book that I didn't lend to anyone, except good friends, best friends. Let's pause there. My question to you, Year 6. What do you think Sam's motivation was in bringing his science fiction comic to Davey? Motivation means reason why. So why did Sam bring this comic to Davey? How do you know this was his reason? It's a 2-mark question, so you need to give me your point and evidence. Pause the video here to write down your answer. Awesome job. Well done. Let's take a look at my answer. I think Sam was trying to show Davey that he still wanted to be friends. That's my point, Year 6. That was Sam's reason for bringing the comic. My evidence is I know this because Sam repeats that he only lends this to best friends. I think he's trying to show Davey that he trusts him in hopes that Davey will trust him again. Did you have a similar answer? I'm sure you did. Okay, let's read to the end of chapter 19. I went with my mum to the hospital. Mum chatted to Davey's mum, whilst Davey sat up in bed, eating the grapes and eyeing the comics, and flicking through the pages of my science fiction book that I didn't lend to anyone except good friends, best friends. Davey's mum had calmed down by now. Besides, Davey wanted to stay at school. He didn't want to move to another one. Why not? Asked his mum. Because, was all Davey would say. Because isn't a reason, said his mum. Davey shrugged. He said everything he wanted to say. No more, no less. He looked at me, and there were no sparkles, or smiles, or sideways thoughts in his eyes. He looked at me the way everyone else looked at me. No more, no less. What do you think of these curtains, Davy? I asked desperately. Where had the old Davy gone? They're okay, shrugged Davy. Okay? They were more than okay. The hospital curtains around his bed were swirls of living color, shouting scarlets, yelling yellows, booming blues, gargling greens. Up and down and round, dancing, melting, merging around each other. Hipping, hopping, tapping, bopping. Alive. They're okay, Davy said again. Where had the old Davy gone? That's the end of chapter 19. Year 6, my question to you is, how has the author shown that Davy's character has changed in this chapter? Use evidence to explain your answer. Remember, this is a 3-mark question. You need to give me your points, how the author's shown that Davy has changed, as well as evidence and an explanation. Pause the video here and write down your answer. Well done. Here is my answer. I gave you 3 different points with evidence and an explanation in each. That's how I've got my 3 marks. Listen to my answer. The author has shown that Davy has changed his entire view of the world in this chapter. First, Davy no longer sees the good in Sam. He simply sees Sam like everyone else does, as the school bully. Second, he is much quieter because when his mom asks him questions, he simply answers using one word. Finally, the author shows Davy has changed in the way he talks about the curtains. He simply says they're okay, rather than seeing them in the eccentric, unique, and exciting way that he would have before, the way Sam now sees them. That's it for our lesson today, Year 6. We'll continue reading tomorrow. My final question to you today is, if you were Davey, would you forgive Sam for telling your secret? Why or why not? I know my answer. I wonder if yours is similar. Remember to share your answer with me if possible. I love to see them. Great job today, Year 6, and I will see you again tomorrow.